right, guys, let's go. Welcome to HiBruination with Goosey, the Chavo, Mr. Hattrick. We got a good show for you guys tonight. We're going to talk about this week's games, as always. Some concerns surrounding Corpus Salo, injury updates, some Providence call-ups, Thanksgiving standings where the Bruins stand. We're 15-12-0 for 30 points and second in the Atlantic Division. Much more. We got a special announcement at the end of the show as well, so stay tuned. Guys, welcome in, and welcome in, fans. Obviously,
how we doing?
Good. Happy late Thanksgiving to you both. Hope you guys had a wonderful turkey day, and to our fans as well. Hope you guys celebrated. If you celebrated, if not, just hope you enjoyed your regular Thursday then.
I hope you had a great food coma. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, boys. It was good. I hope everyone had a good day, and they have football, they have food, family.
Didn't watch anything football related.
The three F's of Turkey Day: family, food, and football. There you go.
It was good, except for my mother, who decided to cook the turkey without the oven on. So that was.
Can you explain how that happened?
That was interesting. Yeah. So like they're redoing the house, and they're renting this other house, out in Saugus somewhere, and they got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, turned the oven on, and they're like, oh, okay, all right, we got it. But they wanted to increase the temperature, and then they just forgot to click OK to set the actual oven temperature when they wanted to change it. And the turkey basically sat at God knows what for an hour and a half until one of us realized that, hey, the oven isn't on. So that's what
you know that button we're supposed to press? We forgot to press it.
That's exactly what happened. Oh, boy.
And everyone's like, why is the oven cold? I was like, did you turn the oven on? it was just so embarrassing. And I'm just like, I'm going to my girlfriend's. I'll see you guys later. I'm hungry.
That's written in Thanksgiving, man.
The potatoes are done, the carrots are done, the peas are done, everything else is done. The fucking turkey is cold as shit.
We had someone slaving away potatoes over here. We saw from the group chat. We woke up and we found out that Steve had been working for quite some time on these potatoes.
Steve was slaving over a hot stove over these potatoes.
Just imagine a hunched back, gym shorts, just sweating, mixing up the potatoes. I can really picture it.
Honestly,
boys, dude, there better be some good compound garlic butter in there. That's what we needed to Steve. I
don't give out my recipes for free, boys. But
okay.
To say the least, my potatoes kicked ass because I'm a perfectionist and I got raving reviews of it. So to walk you through, it was day before Thanksgiving, ran out because I planned on making 30 pounds of mashed potatoes. And
mashed potatoes.
How many pounds of mashed potatoes?
He said 30. He said a full 30.
30 pounds.
30 pounds of mashed potatoes?
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
Who were you feeding?
The family.
29 people.
Oh, holy crap. Okay, all right, never mind. I thought it was just traditional Thanksgiving.
You gotta scale up, right? What, you think a 5 pound bag of potatoes is going to feed 30 people? No. You need
nobody.
So
holy smoke.
So I already went out and grabbed everything, and then my girlfriend's dad was like, how about 2 kinds of potatoes? He's like, how about some au gratin potatoes? And I was like, sure, because
smack. Those are the best au gratin.
Fun fact, I hate au gratin potatoes.
Really?
Yeah, hot take.
Wow.
To be fair, I worked at a restaurant that made really good ones. So
okay, see, that's the thing. It's usually they're pretty shitty because they're not.
Yeah, I've had some bad ones as well.
And
they're not
the bad ones are awful. It's all about the texture, and I feel like most of the time, when you eat the au gratin potatoes, they're not even fully cooked.
They're not seasoned well enough. If they're bland, they just fall short. They're just mushy.
Exactly.
They're not good.
It's just one of those things. So he comes down
with
fucking kinds of potatoes.
Bro, I worked for a pretty nice restaurant in Nashville. I got accustomed to a way of serving food, but I don't know.
I need to hear more about this au gratin and 30 pounds of potatoes, dude. That's crazy to me. Notice how no one gave a shit about what the turkey tasted like, because turkey is not the best bird
no, I mean,
to eat.
listen, you want to make sure it doesn't end up that dry. I think that's the thing with it. If you can have a decently moist, that sounds weird, turkey,
The thing about turkey is if you prepare it the right way, it can be one of the best dishes you can have. You gotta brine it, and hot take, you gotta carve up the turkey. You gotta get rid of the wings. You gotta get rid of the drums. You gotta get rid of the back. It's all about cooking the main breast, and that's what keeps it dry or keeps it moist. But the brine helps a lot too.
Interesting. Yeah.
The brine.
But back to the potatoes. So me being me, I really can't back down from a challenge with cooking, because if you can name it, I can probably cook it. I have a real passion for cooking. My dad owned a pizza shop and a catering business, and I grew up in a kitchen. So it's just one of those things where I don't normally back down from anything for cooking. So there I am appealing.
The next time I'm with you, Steve, I want a beef Wellington.
All right, you
take that as a challenge.
Yeah,
I'll buy it. If you make it, I'll buy it. I'll buy the ingredients, mister. I accept the challenge. I don't care. I'll pay for the ingredients if you make it. I don't get.
I kind of want to see him try this, because I've not had it myself, but it looks like to be a fun together putting dish. Like multiple steps.
I will say this, Steve. I will say this, Jack. I have had Steve's cooking before. I've had his meatloaf.
His meatloaf? How is it? I'm a fan of meatloaf.
It's pretty good. No, Steve's a pretty good cook. Okay, I need to hear the potatoes. I'm sorry, I keep interrupting. Like this is 30 pounds of potatoes.
Trying to hear
just goes hard, and I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So there I am.
I'm super crazy today.
So there I am.
So it's 3 o'clock the day before Thanksgiving. Here I am. My original plan was to go in, peel all the potatoes, and dice them up. That way, tomorrow I could just dump out the water that they were soaking in and put them on a cold pot,
everybody,
and cook them, right? Because I didn't want to do all the prep work the day of Thanksgiving. I wanted to prep it out. That way in the morning I could just turn it on, put them in the thing, wait for them to boil, wait for them to cook, and then mash them up and do it all nice, right? But 3 o'clock rolls around, and my girlfriend's dad was like, "How about 2 kinds of potatoes?" And again, can't back down from that. So I start peeling the potatoes, and that takes about 2.5 hours to peel all of them, because then I have to go through which ones look good to that don't have any holes. That way, everything is all the same shape at least, and kind of good, quality type stuff. Where if you have to dig out some of the potato eyes, and it doesn't look good.
You want it. You're your own quality control, Steve. You're like looking at this shit.
Yeah.
And you're just like, no, this is perfection.
I have to be a perfectionist.
You have to be a perfectionist to cook for a living. It really does. So
it is an art.
When you put enough care and consideration into it, there's you see how much stuff matters. I mean,
for sure.
My dad loves to cook too, so he's very big on how it turns out and what you think of it. So there's a lot of care that goes into it.
I don't like serving shit food, and I'm not going to produce shit. So that's how I feel.
You're going to work hard at it. You're going to make sure it's the best quality.
And so I'm going through that, and then I realized that I don't have enough ingredients for au gratin potato, so I then have to go back out to buy some more stuff.
World problems.
And then the only thing that saves my life is my girlfriend's mom had a mandolin on deck, and
so you could slice.
So I could slice.
There you go. See.
So there I am.
So much of a nerd. I thought he said she had the Mandalorian. I said that's fucking awesome.
She just put on the Mandalorian while I was cooking, and I was like, "Fuck, this is really gonna get me through it."
Yeah, dude. Did she
have
baby Grogu with her too?
Come on.
There I am with all the potatoes ready for it. I already chopped up the ones for the mash and got them away. And then we have a TV where I was, so I put on the Bruins game, and there I am just slicing the potatoes on the mandolin for another hour and a half, just going through it, making sure they're all the same size and all that good stuff. Then I start
trying so hard to make sure the exact size. He's like,
yeah. Well, you tweak it, but you know,
Yeah.
Look good. You kind of toss them, and I put the ones that didn't look so good back in the mash pot. So I did that, and you know, went through again quality control, checking everything.
Steve's quality control
for real. Like the again, like Gordon Ramsay over here.
Inspector Gadget.
The amount of swear words that I dropped while doing all of this was unfathomable, people. Like you would not believe the mouth I had on me. It was bad.
Thanksgiving brings that out of you with your family as well. You're like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
It's not going right.
I was peeling the potatoes and the little ones kept slipping. And I was just dropping.
No.
I was dropping the C-bomb every 5 seconds for a while there. So you could get slipping out, and I was getting really mad about it. There I am, you know, going through everything, making the mix, put everything in there, and get it going. And the pot or the pan that I was using to get it going, and I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. It's gonna bubble over. And I just spent an hour and a half cleaning the inside of the stove and scrubbing it and doing that. And I was like, I really don't want to redo the oven that I just worked my ass off cleaning. So we ended up getting one of those big things.
Steve, this sounds like one massive Vietnam flashback. Did this turn out good?
Yeah.
Yes, he had good reviews on it. Like he had no customer complaints.
I had no complaints, and I actually had like people asking if there were any left. And I mean, by the end of the night, there was not much left. Everyone got a little bit for take home. Even, you know, my girlfriend's dad, a couple days after, was like, "Is there any more au gratin potatoes left?" Right, like trying to lurk for it and all that.
Like, sorry, man, we ran out.
But there I am, you know, doing all this stuff. And guys, you wouldn't believe the amount of time that I spent plucking thyme, like fresh thyme, off of the little twigs. Oh yeah, I mean, that was easily 30-40 minutes of me just going through, making sure there was no things in there and dicing it up and put it in the mix and everything like that.
That's dedication. That's pretty excruciating.
Oh yeah, it was pretty excruciating, but it wouldn't be the holidays without a little pain. So I also cut my thumb as well. So that was a little fiasco that I had to deal with.
Baby.
It happens, but I didn't want to get any blood on the food that I was about to serve because that's not quality control. So we do that, and then I have this big old, you know, probably 15 pounds of potatoes, and you know the tin the tin thing that you cook in, the big one, those throwaway ones, and they're not cooking.
And he made some magic happen. Holy shit! What do you mean I didn't cook?
Well,
what'd you do?
I put them in at a temperature that I thought was going to be good, but since there were so many potatoes in a thing, they weren't really coming up to temperature. So I had to extend the time. So when it's all said and done, when these things were getting finished, it was 2:30 in the morning by the time they all finished cooking.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, and then I had to be up at 8 o'clock the next morning to boiled potatoes, and then spend another 2 hours, you know, ricing them with the potato masher because, again, quality control. And I want to be a perfectionist, and I'm not doing it, you know, any other way. So there was about 15 pounds of potatoes that I had to go through, rice them, and then add the ingredients to make mashed potatoes. But when that was all said and done, that was 2.5 hours later. So that was a fiasco.
Wow. Well, for any of you fans of mashed potatoes out there, you guys got to reach out to the Chavo for some tips, because if there's any devotion to making potatoes, if I've heard any, that was it. He slaved over a hot stove. Yeah, and he looks good, and he bet you he looked good doing it.
Honestly, I probably eat potatoes like 3 or 4 times a week. They're my jam. So I do potatoes a lot.
Speaking of other teams that were pretty much cooking this week outside of one game, your Boston Bruins go 2-1 on the week, beat the New York Islanders. Then they lose convincingly to the New York Rangers. Boo.
I was so pissed. I called them ass. I was like, they stink. They're pooey. And then what do? They walk in, they beat us 6-2. And I just feel like I got a slap in the face.
Same. It felt like insult to injury.
It did. I mean, listen, it's a matinee too, but like, yeah.
I said it.
You did.
You did
say it. They're bad. They're historically bad.
By the way, what a transition to the Bruins stock, hey guys, and we win in Detroit. So not in Detroit. Sorry, we win against Detroit at TD Garden. They definitely needed that win after that horrific 6-2 loss. Swayman was phenomenal in that shootout as well. Guys, how did we feel? How do we feel this past week? The Bruins are obviously hurting for injuries. Pastrnak misses 2 games. He misses the game against the Rangers, and then he misses the game against Detroit. But overall, how do we feel? How do we feel after Thanksgiving? 15, 12-0, 30 points, second in the Atlantic. What are the vibes like? Are we still running high? Are we a little concerned? Are we hopeful? Are we doubtful? Talk to me a little bit about the state of the team here and, this week overall.
I think you can't talk about the team without mentioning injuries, right, Steve? That's the glaring thing taking us down right now. So,
yep, for sure. I mean, speaking for this week, it was a kind of a roller coaster week, right? Where you're like, okay, oh no, okay, you're going up and down a lot.
Was it like the Kool-Aid man?
Yeah, kind of. Oh yeah,
yeah.
Perfect. It's just one of those things where this week was a roller coaster, but after Thanksgiving, right? Like I kind of close out this week on today, right? We're kind of looking at the standings after Thanksgiving, like we said we were going to, and I'm still kind of feeling pretty high. I mean, they're finding ways to win with all these injuries, which is really kind of exciting to me. Where
encouraging as well.
Yeah, very encouraging as well. I mean, you said it best there. It's one of those things. There's like, can we just keep finding ways to win these games while we have all these injuries? And when we get everybody back, is that even more hopeful? Or, is that kind of like a false sense of hope there where, they might make a playoff push, dare I say? I mean, it's kind of early. They're doing pretty good. I know there's a lot of time left in the season, but, they're finding ways to win, especially through all these injuries. They're still up there with the standings. There's a lot of hockey to go, but it's definitely encouraging to see, we might be having a playoff conversation towards the end of the year where, these guys might be continuously playing well enough to make it there. And who knows if they're going to make it a deep run, but they'll be, in contention possibly where, that's one of those things where anybody can win. Anyone can go in there and figure it out, right?
You go, Ken.
No, go ahead, Jack. I don't know. I wasn't sure if you got your full thoughts in. So please round us off, and then I'll ask my question for you both.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, if your top guys are performing, that's good. And when you have a shortage in your roster, it's about who steps up, I think. And yeah, this last week was just, some good further proof of that. Geekie was someone who just took a lot of heat, and I'm seeing a lot of just positive chatter around him. A lot of people maybe following in Chavo's "fuck you" footsteps of being like, "Look at him," and but it's encouraging though. It's awesome. People call him a pasta merchant, and I've just seen that stick out, and I think that's like a great thing to come out this week. It's just that we got a really good player in Geekie, and he's really filling out nice, and he's just keeps surprising us as we go. I mean, I
was going to touch on this later, but I am so glad that you brought the whole pasta merchant out. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I just like. So many people are talking about this week, and I'm like, and it's just proof. Like proof is in the pudding. Well, he's stepping up for himself, and I think that goes with the tone for this season. And if it's kind of still, if the right pieces go to play, then yeah, I think we are talking playoffs, and it's still early, but yeah, I just like a lot of the encouraging signs. I think, yeah, you guys put it well, but yeah, I think pasta merchant is a term.
I quickly want to touch.
Yeah,
I quickly want to touch on Jack's point. Sorry to interrupt you, Jack. I just want to touch on that. Like, when you said the pasta merchant, Geekie himself even brought that up.
Exactly, he knows.
I think in a post-game interview.
Yep.
And he said, I know who I am as a player, and I want to play to that level. Mm-hmm. And you kind of have to respect that. He had 3 goals without Pastrnak. So I mean That's an effort. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, he scored one, I believe, on Shesterkin? That's not an easy thing. Shesterkin is a good goaltender
Yes, he
in a
is.
vacuum. He is a very good goaltender. So pay some respect to that. Cam Talbot, not a great goaltender, but I feel like Detroit also played loose around him. But from the angles at which Geekie scored, they were tough. I would say they were a little bit tougher. I would say so. Good on Geekie for doing that.
That was beautiful. It looked like pasta, but it was Geekie. He's got a killer shot.
Bombed it.
And yeah,
bombed it. And my question for you guys is, even though we're at the Thanksgiving, which has commonly been used as a reference point to determine how teams are looking in terms of the playoff pushes and et cetera. The points in the East are still super tight.
As per usual.
So I think the third in the division is separated only by 6 points, or 5 points, one of those two. So still a lot to consider here, but at this stage, I think we can still safe to say or assume one of these things. Do you guys think we're playoff hopefuls, doubtfuls, bottom feeders, or contenders? I know we can definitely rule out bottom feeder. I don't think this Bruins team is a bottom feeding team. I will also rule out contender.
Yeah. No, I'm ruling out with you guys go.
I'm ruling out two. I'm ruling out bottom feeder and contender. I don't think they've convinced me that they're a contender yet. I don't think, and they've definitely not. They've definitely convinced me that they're not bottom feeder. I actually have them as playoff hopeful.
I would too. I think they're either hopefuls or doubtfuls right now. It's kind of just teetering either, right? Could be either or.
I'm with you, Cam, on that. I've ruled out bottom feeder for sure. Even though coming into the season, again, full disclosure, I was thinking that they'd be a bottom feeder team.
Same.
I don't think they've shown me enough to be considered a contender either. Would I like them to be? Obviously, I just don't think when you're looking at the rest of the league, I don't know if I can put that stamp of approval for myself as a contender, right? I think realistically what we're looking at is a playoff hopeful. There's a lot of hockey left, and if they continue, again, like I said, scrounging out wins, and when you get healthy, continuing to win, I think you're looking at a playoff hopeful, and maybe a second round exit depending on the matchup. I think that's kind of the ceiling for this team for sure. As it sits right now,
it's kind of giving me vibes from 23-24. They had a solid team and they could play. I mean, I think that team was better than this team, but as far as as their depth and talent and their reach, they kind of flattened out the second round. So I could see this. I could see them following a similar track in that maybe. I don't know what you guys think.
I'm with you, Jack, where I get the vibe of 23-24.
But that team was good though as well.
I don't know if they were good. I thought they were just enough.
Yeah.
Because
which I think is what we're at right now as well. A little less than enough.
I think the difference between that team and this team is that Swayman carried you to the second round. This year, I think there's a bit more structure involved in the team. So I would actually argue this team is marginally better. I think there's holes. For sure, I think there are holes. And more so now, with the injuries. I mean, you got Pasta day to day. There's uncertainty around that. I actually thought that
it gives me so much anxiety when he was not when I think of it.
I thought, but here's the thing. I thought it was good that if he wasn't available for the Rangers game, don't play him on the second end on the back end of a back-to-back if you're not sure. The season is still young enough where I'd rather have Pastrnak guaranteed healthy and give him those few extra days of rest rather than pressure that, even though you're home.
Did you
see
just
came off of a long
the clip of him getting hurt? You did, yes.
I did not.
It was one of the Bruins insiders, or some people are surfacing clips. It was the end of the Islanders game. He went, there was dumped the puck. I think he was going for a change, and he literally just like sidestep. I think pulled somewhere in his lower area, groin area, because they ruled out it was not his knee, something else. But you hope it's not too bad. But again, that's kind of the state of, we don't really know. They're not really releasing too much about injuries. It's kind of a theme this year I've seen. But I just hope it's not too bad.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest too, Cam, to your point, I'll start off by saying you're not guaranteed to be healthy in the NHL, right? Like,
sure,
guys play hurt.
You guys play hurt all the time, especially in the playoffs. Like, it's just one of those things. I think the point about let's let him get healthy is right on point. I mean, why risk your top player in a back-to-back game type situation? If you're not going to play him for the first game, let him sit out the next game, give him a couple extra days to heal up and get and assess from there. And if he ends up sitting out another week, okay, like, I'm okay with that, because we're already down on injuries, and I want him healthy in the long term to help the Bruins succeed, and he's a part of the success plan for the team, right? And if you're going to sacrifice, a player that's hurt, now's not the time to sacrifice him, right? Guys, if we're a playoff hopeful, he might play hurt through the first, at least, through the first series in the playoffs, and that's the time to play hurt. Words are hard right now. I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'm tired. I've done a lot of reffing this weekend, and I've early mornings and long snowy days here. So I'm sorry, but it's
more so to your point though, Steve, because you bring up a good point. Like, this week is not, I wouldn't say it's a very difficult week for Boston. Like, they get Detroit again, they have St. Louis, who's struggling, and then you have a challenge big, I think, in New Jersey. But Binnington hasn't been that great, I don't think. Hofer
the Blues,
they've
just come out flat. They've just not been good at all, and
that's another team that's really up and down, where some games they look really good, and a lot of the games they're not looking that good. They're coming out flat, like you said. It's really like, hey, what type of night are we going to get here? Are they going to come out flat, or are they going to look really good?
Yeah, it's a question of Montgomery and his coaching and tactics and everything, as you've seen that happen before. With him. So
we can get into this when we talk to the teams, but I don't think it's Montgomery. I think it's a whole much out with St. Louis. But again, your only real challenge, I would say, like, actual really difficult challenge, is New Jersey this week. So if Pastrnak comes up to you and says, I'm not really that ready, okay. Because the good news is we have Middlestat back. We have Elias Lindholm back. So you're getting
looked pretty good. I think Middlestat looked good.
Middlestat looked good. I think Elias needs a few more time. I think he's just having a hard time reacclimating himself. But his two-way game has been fine outside the New York Rangers game. I don't think any Bruin really had a good game that game.
Agreed.
Outside of Geekie. But even then, that's marginal. That's like me nitpicking players. You're still out Harris. Blumel went out. Not really much of a loss with Blumel. Sorry. Harris, has been good when he plays. McAvoy skated, but there's no timetable with him. But he has a ball, so maybe he does come back and he just wears the facial protection. Now you're out Yoki Haru. Thank God. And Arvidsson is still week to week. So, you're struggling, but you're finding ways to win games. So if Pastrnak comes to you, let's just say they play again Tuesday, and he comes to you on Monday and he goes, guys, I think I just need to go one more game. Cool. You play Detroit again. You just got to tighten up defensively, because I think you were a better team up and down the ice, on Saturday.
For most of the game. For most of the game against Detroit, they were the better team. A lot that third period, I don't see a reason why they should have let him tie it in the last 4 minutes or whatever it was, or 3 minutes bad. Or whatever. It was a bad defensive breakdown, and I understand that they pulled the goalie and it was a 6-on-5, but still, this Bruins team has been more or less okay when on a kind of on a technical shorthand situation, right? I just didn't I think that play at the end that tied the game there was pretty sloppy. I mean, I think it was a good play by Detroit. Don't get me wrong. They took advantage of the situation at hand. They caught the Bruins kind of running around crazy in their own zone. But I don't see why you let that game get into overtime. In all honesty, and I didn't think that either team was going to win in OT 3-on-3, and it would come down to the shootout. And fortunately, Swayman looked really good.
Pretty fortunate we have Swayman though, because considering our backup, there's some talk about him and his play as of late.
Yeah.
And I think Cam has a pretty strong opinion. And me and him kind of went back and forth on our views of him, and they differ. But mostly as it's your backup, but the player there hasn't been great this season, I think. So
No, but before you get to Corpy too, Jack, because like Steve brought it up perfectly with Swayman. Swayman is at the top of the league in terms of goaltenders with goals saved above expected. He's leading a lot of good stats.
He is, yeah. I was going to mention
would
too,
hope like
his
outside of goals against average and outside of like maybe save percentage, but outside of like other measurable stats that like back up the goals against and the save percentage. Swayman is playing an elite level of hockey and he's earning every single penny. I mean, look at the shootout in Detroit. Nailed it. Holy
I
smokes.
saw like a little like
he
highlight
made
reel
that.
Sorry, you go.
Yeah, he made that save on Patrick Kane look like nothing. Like he's no scrub in shootout.
Yeah, Patrick Kane in a shootout. It's pretty. Killer. I mean, he's old and he's kind of washed now, but it's still Patrick Kane in a shootout. That's, I mean,
yep.
The guy still has some skill.
Guy still has hands.
Yep.
Guy still has hands and he's nuts. Flash that leather on him.
Yeah,
nope. I have 100 million concerns on Corpy, but Jack, go ahead, please.
I saw an edit of the shootout and someone showing his saves and stuff, and yeah, he looked cool and calm, and that save on Kane was hard. You could say ice in his veins. He's earning every penny of his contract. Yeah, I would be fully backing that. And for the month of November here, he has a 7-2 record with a .935 save percentage. So for this month itself, he has been
bonkers.
Dynamite. I mean, his play from this whole season, it's been good and increasingly getting better. And this month itself has been a great sample size. So yeah, he is. The haters are quiet. You go on, online or on to X as they call it, and I'm looking. I don't see them. They disappeared.
Mm-hmm. Do you if Pasternak's out for maybe 1 or 2 games this week, do you really lean on Swayman? Does the coaching staff decide to lean on him a little bit? Does he see Detroit again? Does he see St. I think he sees St. Louis.
Yeah,
I think there's Swayman, you'll see him at the Garden. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument for him against Detroit because he just played so good, so you might want to ride the wave. But yeah, because I don't know how I feel about giving Corpy Detroit. But maybe St. Louis he could. I don't know. I'm kind of flipped with you. I think St. Louis he could do. But what do you think, Steve?
Cam, I mean, to your point about maybe Corpy having, maybe giving Swayman St. Louis, it's probably tough in that if I'm coaching, right? What do? Do I put my lock-in guy to get some 2 points to certify? Or do I hold off? Do I put him in for Detroit, give Corpy St. Louis?
That's what I do.
I would do that too, because I want Sway to come in fresh to give us a fighting chance against the Devils. It's obviously good. They're a good team, right? Yep. You kind of have to think about putting the team in a situation where they can win. And I think if you rest Swayman for St. Louis, you get you can get the most out of him in the New Jersey game. And
I think there's points for both. I mean, but
Yeah.
it's about your game management, obviously. And yeah, he did just look so good against Detroit. So, but there's no argument there.
The
Are
only
you there,
reason I
Cam?
ask, fellas, is
Oh, there you are.
because the concerns I have. Yeah, I'm sorry. I probably lagged a little bit here, but
You're good.
the only reason I ask, fellas, is because there is a significant amount of concern I have around Korpisalo as a backup right now, making $3 million. Out of all goalies that have played at least the same amount of games, he is in the bottom 5 in goals save above expected, save percentage at a 0.875%, horrible, and the goals against average of 3.59. He, in all of his advanced analytics, suggests that he sucks. It's unacceptable. And people who defend it and say, oh, well, this, that, the other, team defense, blah, blah. Yeah, the team defense isn't that great, but also Swayman has that same defense out in front of him.
That is true.
And I get it.
More better.
And I get it. Swayman makes $5 million more than Korpisalo, but you do need your backup to come in and steal a game for you every once in a while too. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it needs to be as frequent as Swayman, but we also have to remember that Korpisalo at one point was a starter for Columbus and he was a starter for Ottawa. So there are some.
Yeah, but you take into account when that was, when was he a starter? And his play is probably different by then, but I think as a backup, he should be held to the same standards. Yeah.
Yep. You're a professional. Play like one. And right now,
your argument is that he's not playing professionally. Or
nope. I would pay someone to take Korpisalo off my hands, and I will elevate Michael DiPietro.
Which the Providence Bruins goalie pipeline has been pretty good.
Pretty good.
As rest of Providence. Good. So
Zajac and DiPietro are crushing the AHL right now. Providence Bruins are 15-3-0, and I don't think they're 15-3-0 without obviously Lysell being a big reason for that. Patrick Brown too, but also DiPietro and Zajac. So Korpisalo, yeah. I don't think Korpisalo is better than those two. So I don't know. Don Sweeney better pay someone to take Korpisalo the fuck away from me because I can't stand him.
Hear Steve, that, folks? He's coming for his head.
Did I anger Steve enough?
I was kind of running through in my mind where, it's like, you're right. His stats and analytics are atrocious. And
they have been as of late. I think that's non-negotiable, and you just put it pretty well, Cam. I mean, it's so.
And it's funny to me hearing Cam, just have the complete opposite side of a goalie debate, because he was pretty adamant about you can't blame the goalie for everything.
I know. Isn't he the one that always says that?
Yeah.
No, you can't. Listen. Fuck you both. Yes, you absolutely can't. But he has
his
been
analytics are where they are.
Ferocious.
Yeah.
And he has. And it's just funny to me hearing him kind of flip the tables, because I was probably saying the same thing about Swayman last year. And, again, my biggest concern for this year was, hey, is Swayman going to get his head out of his ass? And clearly he has.
I mean, like complete 180, like night and day. Like this is the Swayman we need. This is the guy to lead a team, to take on 50 to 60 games and to lead you into the playoffs. I think what people are asking for him, for his play and what to work up for to his contract, I think you can say confidently he has achieved it. But I mean, it's a continuation of your play, so I hope it stays. But yeah, this is a Swayman that we were promised.
Yeah, for sure, especially with the sound of his $8 whatever million contract, right?
That's not cheap.
It's not cheap, and this is what I expect.
Shesterkin's 12.
I mean, yeah,
he's making stupid money.
And where are the Rangers right now?
Exactly. I mean, well, they just kicked our ass. So.
They whooped us.
That's true. Maybe
it's a matinee. It's a matinee, guys. It's a matinee. It's matinee.
Yeah. We don't count matinee losses. We don't count those. Like Bruins have historically played terribly on matinees. We don't count those losses. We forgive those, except for Korpisalo. Fuck you, Korpisalo, because he was bad.
He was bad.
But
And
it's crazy.
pretty
But
bad.
it's crazy though when you evaluate play though, because he also made some amazing saves. That's what I was telling Cam throughout the game. I was like, well, Cam, he stepped up and you know, and gave him a fighting chance. But again, it's about when you look at it as a whole. And yeah, there's holes there to be concerned of. So, you know,
And
I found the perfect way to put it to you, Jack. You can make 2 great saves, but if you let in 6 goals on 8 shots, those 2 amazing saves ain't worth shit. Like, you know what I mean?
That's a very you know, small
Yeah.
sample size, but the point still stands.
no,
I mean,
I think
let's look.
I think
Let's look at it
stands
this way too.
pretty firm.
Let's look at it this way too, guys. Like the Islanders outshot the Bruins 42-14. Who won that game?
Swayman.
The Bruins.
Swayman won the game.
Sorry, Swayman won the game.
No,
Swayman won the
yeah.
game.
No,
But
he
sure.
he played great.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm kind of with you where I think we need to relieve ourselves of Korpisalo at this point and bring up DiPietro because that kid's a stud. And
so good.
I think it would help a lot because you got to think of it too for his development where, hey, if he gets the call up, let's say for a St. Louis team, right? A team that's really not that good, you know, kind of hot and cold all the time. That'd be a perfect opportunity for him to step up into, you know, the show and get some experience at that level and, you know, see what he can do out there and kind of hopefully steal you a win, right?
Here's the thing with DiPietro. If you're going to sell Korpisalo, you have to be sure that is your move because DiPietro it is not waivers exempt. So if they call him up, they cannot send him back down without risk of him being claimed. That is massive.
That's a risk.
So
yeah, that's
you
massive.
need to be certain that is a move that you are going to be confident on. I'm confident in it because there's no fucking way in hell that he's going to be worse than Korpisalo. And if at least he is, he's only making $975,000. And I feel a lot better than that at that. Like, you know what I mean? $3 million is
compared to your back who was
shit.
making $3 million. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
Your mind goes to that. I got a question though, and maybe you guys can help me with the answer. Does he still have to clear waivers if, let's say, Korpisalo gets put on the IR?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Does not matter how he is called up. He would still need to clear waivers.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like injury exempt, right? You know, that's
the Bruins would effectively be forced to carry 3 goaltenders unless they were confident no one would pick up DiPietro. But look at Brendan Bussey, 6-1-0 with Carolina. Big miss. Miss.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Way to go, Don.
I don't know why we got rid of him. I was a huge fan of him. He played great.
Screwed that pooch.
It's Don Sweeney we're talking about. Boys. He's known to steal the pooch once or twice a season.
Yep. I will say this with respect to the holes in the team. If you do get rid of Korpisalo, I don't know who the hell takes him, but I will pay someone to take him. I will pay someone a 4th round pick to take him. That is the one Bruins player I will pay to get rid of, just to give me $3 million in capital. I don't care because
in case you guys weren't
honestly,
clear
if you're
by now,
Cam hates Korpisalo.
Cam hates Korpisalo.
In case you guys weren't aware for the last 3 minutes how much I absolutely abhor Korpisalo in his current play and why the Bruins ever acquired that abysmal contract from Ottawa will never cease to amaze me. But the Bruins have also been involved in other trade rumors. And another one that I don't understand is the Bruins' obsession with Kiefer Sherwood and Connor Garland. Kiefer being 30 years old and Connor Garland being 29. All set. Why?
Yeah,
I'm
I
all
think I'd
set. No, thank you.
probably be good as well. I haven't read too much into Kiefer, but Garland's just another small, scoring forward. We've had those before. I think he might be somewhat of a hometown guy from Mass too. You know how Donnie likes those guys, but yeah,
Clearly
I would
draft some BC
question.
and BU.
Yeah, I question what impact they have, and I guess that's what we could discuss. But yeah, I don't
No,
know.
thanks. I would honestly,
thanks.
if the rumors are true,
Go fuck
go fuck yourself. If the rumors,
You read my mind.
if the rumors are genuinely true, and Andrei Svechnikov is available, I am picking
You
up
sell
the
the
phone
house.
and
You sell the house for him.
I am like,
You
because
go
the
for it.
Bruins need left wing help more than anything else. You're going to be saturated at center with Hagen's
That would
coming.
take you from a B+ team to an A-, even an A team. I think.
I think the Bruins are a B. I think the Bruins are a B team. I would say like that would definitely take you to a B+ team.
Yeah,
but
I wasn't really necessarily in reference to the Bruins, but I just in that. I mean, I guess I'd mention them, but it's just that it's gonna take you up immediately. So, but yeah, I would.
Even if. And
B
by the
for
way,
Bruins.
even if this doesn't happen at the trade deadline, let's just say they wait and then Carolina gets knocked out and then Svechnikov is still unhappy. Because again, this is just a rumor that I've read on X. So forgive me if it's completely misquoted. But then in the offseason, I'm just like, hey, I will dangle things in front of whoever the Carolina GM is. And I'll be like, I really like him and he seems very unhappy. Could you imagine, like, you have Zacha, Higgins, Pastrnak, then you have Svechnikov, Lindholm, and Geekie. I think your top six is already infinitely better at that point. You know what I mean?
Amazing.
Then at that point, I'm like,
That's
I'll give you a
amazing.
nice shiny Casey Middlestat. I'll give you a first-round pick. I'm taking him, dude. Like, please don't go get Connor Garland. You have enough right wings. You have Fabian Lysell down in Providence, who is tearing it the fuck up. But you, instead of calling Lysell, now I'm going on a tangent now. With all these injuries with the Bruins,
music.
Oh, right. I know the graduation theme that I have. No, but in all honesty, guys, like with all these injuries, they're calling up players like Blumel, Merkulov, who played bare minimum minutes against what was it, New York?
Yeah,
right?
You barely saw Merkulov out there for a few whacks at it, but he was not noticeable much. And again, because he gets him one shot to go and skate and do whatever the hell, and then send right back down.
And to Merkulov, right? I was texting one of my buddies about this, and he's like, Merkulov's a bum, and I'm like, you really can't say that.
No.
Like I'm gonna disagree that he's a bum, just because one, he's young, right?
I think he's a gifted player. I think there's some untapped potential there, but
my bottom sixer. He's more like a Husnudinov.
Even still, though, you're not giving him the tools or even ability or time to prove that. And they're doing the same thing with Lysell as well, because his sample size has not been great, but he's been playing great now. Why not give him a shot?
That's my next point, though.
Because no piss and vinegar.
I mean,
yeah, but you need a little bit of honey with the piss and vinegar. You need the sweet.
Yeah.
you need a little bit of, sparkle.
I say this all the time. You catch more flies with honey than you do vinegar,
dude.
Like the thing is, if the sample size is so small, that means he needs a little extra time.
Yeah, give him more, but
he needs a little extra time to develop as well. And you can't just say he's a bum off of one NHL showing where he got barely any minutes, right? Like the sample size is so small, and to me it looked like a learning curve game for him. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think his stats in Providence are pretty decent.
He was leading scoring for a little bit, I think. I mean, he was up there, and then Lysell's taken over, but yeah, he's up there.
I mean, in his NHL career, Merkulov has played 11 games, got 1 point. He's a -1. Okay, cool. That's not exactly a good, strong sample size that I would use to assess his skills or ability. In Providence right now for the season, 17 games played, 6 goals, 8 assists, 14 points, +2. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah, you beat
but he's older.
Yeah, 14.
But he's older though.
Games. Yeah,
he's 25. He's run out of time. So Merkulov, I wouldn't say a bum, but at this stage, he's more like he's a fourth line guy, much like maybe a Murat Husnudinov, who's bottom six, maybe his ceiling is at the third line. Actually, I would say Murat's ceiling might be closer to the second line at this stage, but whatever. But a guy like Lysell, who's only 22, turning 23, guys, like, you know what I mean? I just can't fathom.
I think you want to capitalize on that now. Yeah, you want to see what
Yeah.
you can make of it, and see if by the time he gets to
Yeah.
Merkulov's age and past, like if he turns into something useful.
Yeah.
Well, and I think we talked
And
about this last week, where some guys need a little extra time to develop in the league, right?
Yeah.
Getting 11 games in your career at the NHL level isn't really
sparingly, mind you.
lot.
Very sparingly.
Like sparingly, though. These are not 11 games consistently. These are 11 games all over the place. Like, you know what I mean? They're not consistent. And I agree with you guys completely. Like, you can't expect like these tail end picks, like, you know what I mean, that haven't been, top 10 or top 15 or something like that to come in and score 30 goals. That's unrealistic. I think there is a point, and I've mentioned this before, that, Providence or the AHL can only develop you so far. You want to learn and excel in the NHL level, you need to spend time in that. Marchand was a perfect example. Now he was a bit of an anomaly, but also look at Artemi Panarin, who was undrafted.
People forget that.
Corey Krug, undrafted. Like, you need to be able to give these guys some time to actually play and play consistently. Lysell may not be a defensive forward like the Bruins, through all ages that have, touted as their system.
That's what they strive for. That's kind of why they audit players like this, why they're not giving them more of a shot.
But neither is Pastrnak. Like, I'm not putting Pastrnak out there to go be a defensive forward. I'm putting him out there to go score a fucking goal.
Yeah, but to be fair, I mean, his game is so advanced and well-rounded, is developed, that his defensive game is caught up. But
sure, and sometimes that follows.
Yeah, but you can't guarantee.
You guys got to think about what direction the league is going. Yes, you need forwards that can play defense, but they're trying to score more goals here. They're trying to make this game even more exciting than it already is, right? The league is moving forward these guys who are really gifted offensive guys, and I'm not saying Lysell is extremely gifted, yet to be seen. It's just one of those things where the Bruins have like this thing where they don't like guys who are offensively talented but need work on defense, and I think
it's like they're scared of it. They're like they're too worried about what's going to happen, maybe like in that moment. And fair, but there's something with Lysell.
Sorry, this is for reference.
Shot.
Sorry, Jack. Sorry, this is for reference and fans, because we're talking about how this relates to the Bruins injuries and how there are open slots on the team right now that need to be filled because of those injuries. I mean, they're pretty substantial. You're out Arvidsson, you're out Pastrnak for we don't know, and you don't know if other injuries are going to pop up too. So who do you call up? Like, you know what I mean? Especially like you called up Lamel, that didn't work, right? You called up Callahan, you didn't really see anything. You called up Merkulov, it didn't work. Okay, so who in Providence do you call up? Potter's not having that great of a year. I'm okay with him having some development time down in Providence after seeing that. But Lysell right now is doing anything and everything he can to show that he has earned a shot to at least play 10 games. Give that to him. Watch. I think he plays Tuesday.
I agree.
Think he plays Tuesday in Detroit.
Bruins
are making a mistake.
I don't think he does against Detroit, but I agree with your sentiment that he needs that stretch. And there's something good that can come out of it. But will Don do it? I don't know. I wish he would.
Don will probably trade him, and then he'll turn into a superstar on another team. And then meanwhile, we'll get Connor Garland in return. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! Can't wait for that.
No, your point's right though. It's
seriously,
like, why is Don Sweeney so afraid to give the kid a chance when he's been working his ass off down in Providence to get a call up for 5 games, right? I'm not even asking for 10 games. He like that to me.
I'm asking for 10. I'm being
you're
selfish.
asking for 10, and that's fine. But I think we need to be reasonable because we don't know.
Sure.
All these guys are out on injury, right? We need to see what Providence holds, right? There could be a diamond in the rough there, and God forbid another injury happens. Hey, guess what? You did really good in your 5-game stint with the Bruins at the NHL level. You continue to keep your play up in Providence, and now when someone else goes down, you're getting the call up again, and that's we go from there. You got to think about planning for the future as well. Like, to me, it drives me crazy when Don Sweeney has these talented guys and they trade them away or don't give them anything to go off of and don't give them a call up that they deserve, especially when we're injury riddled. Like, who else are you going to call up? We need what he doesn't necessarily
Patrick
fit
Brown.
Right? Patrick Brown, dude. Like,
by our luck, that's gonna be who they're gonna call up next. We're gonna see a notification from the team from their X profile of player transaction, and it's gonna say recalled Connor Brown. Cam's gonna lose it.
No, Patrick. I think
I'm gonna lose it.
Patrick Brown.
If I see Brown recalled and not Lysell this week, you might actually see me on next week's episode freak the fuck out.
I want to see a Cam crash out. Do we see a Cam crash out before 2026? Do we see it?
Cam, I'm right there with you though.
Yeah, no, your point. I think throughout this episode, that is the key thing to be taken away, and what we're really trying to drive home. Like, there needs to be some. I mean, maybe change in management. That's a whole other story. But like, there needs to be some actions taken.
Don't get Steve going on that.
I know there needs to be some actions taken right now to capitalize on the team's position and where they are, because from what we're seeing, it's encouraging. Without Pasta and with what Geekie's doing, with what Swam is doing, I think it's a disservice to not give this kid a chance. That's just it.
You want to know what's gonna give Steve a crash out? When Don Sweeney trades Matthew Patra and Fabian Lysell for Kiefer Sherwood and Connor Garland.
I'm gonna throw up.
I don't even want you to put that out.
Why are you even saying it?
Like, for real. Like, because that is such a Don Sweeney thing to fucking do.
Drive it home. Come on. Come on, Chavo.
Yep.
It's just classic Don Sweeney, where he just doesn't believe in our own farm system that he's supposed to be in charge of overseeing as the general manager. Like, you're getting these guys who are committed and are doing well, and you're riddled with injuries right now, and you consistently make poor decisions and not call up the guys that need to be called up, right? And that's my biggest issue is, do you really have zero faith in your own farm system that when you get injury riddled, that you're not going to call up the guy that is killing it down there and absolutely deserves a call up in a 3-5 game tryout, basically, at the NHL level with all of these injuries? Before, when we were talking about this with all, day one, roster, right? Okay, where are we going to put these guys? Okay, cool. You have a lot of open spots right now with all these injuries. You got to
take advantage.
Take advantage
of it. Yeah.
Like, it's just so mind numbing that Don Sweeney consistently does this.
They're going to start Korpisalo all 3 games this week. That's basically what the equivalent is for me. They're going to start
that's what we're going to see.
Worst backup goaltender. They're going to start the league's worst backup goaltender, because that's just the move that makes it. No, listen, I definitely foresee, just like everybody else, everyone knows Lysell's going to get called up. It's a matter of time. You can't not. You know what I mean? You just can't not. With the way he's playing, he blocked shots, dude, down in Providence. A guy like that, you don't expect it. It's a matter of time. I actually
did we see his anyone see his highlight reel goal against the Toronto Foreign team? It was gross.
Oh God!
It's the AHL. It's
the
AHL, but it was gross. It was disgusting. So, like,
Kim, you want to talk about time?
How he stood up on his feet was crazy. Go ahead, Steve.
You want to talk about time? You know when the best time to plant a tree was? 20 years ago. You know the second best time? Right now. You have the opportunity right now to make a difference.
It's right. It's
literally right now.
That's what we're seeing with this team, and that's why it gets exciting to think about their potential, because this is the area for them to go. And Boston's a hockey town, man. Come on, we are gonna ride or die. That is one thing about Bruins fans, and they need more.
And it's not to say that this team isn't fun to watch. I'm having a hell of a fun time watching this team, as frustrating as it can be because they're an original 6 team and you're Boston fans and you want success. But like,
But
even
they're
sometimes
exciting.
when
I'm
they lose, I'm
excited for
just like,
puck drop.
damn.
I was not excited
Yeah,
for puck drop about halfway through the season last year. I was like, I'm pretty much done.
Yeah.
And, and again, that's just Boston fans were spoiled. But it's like, come on.
I'll say this. I'll say this. I posted on X and I just said, like, there's something about putting Jeannot, Minton, and Lysell on a line that just subtly screams to me long-term success. Because if you think about it, you have a guy in Jeannot who will protect Minton and Lysell, like, a bigger guy, a Nathan Horton, Lucic type of individual, I guess, if you want. Maybe Nathan Horton is a little bit of a stretch, I would say. But then you have a very responsible two-way forward with some great skill in Minton. And then you have a guy who's not afraid to dangle, rip the puck, and get it onto the net in Fabian Lysell. Like, I just feel like that is a formula for long-term success if they can have enough time to be together and develop chemistry. Because I think even when they showed that line, because they had that line in preseason, they looked good. It didn't matter if they scored a lot or not to me. They just looked good, and I just had the inkling that they would figure it out eventually. That's how chemistry works.
And I thought the same for Lysell as well. And he kind of, again, he was stagnant. I'll let you go in a second, Steve. But like a lot of people, eventually started piling on him when they didn't see, I think, immediate results from him, which again goes back to, players need time. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it right now. So
You want to know why, Jack?
Why?
You want to know why? Because every year in Boston, for every team, it's championship or bust. Red Sox, championship or bust. Patriots, championship or bust. Celtics, championship or bust. Bruins, championships or bust. Championship or bust. That is how Boston operates because we are that entitled with championships. You don't agree with it, but that's the fact, guys. That is the absolute fact. And I fucking love it because we are obnoxious. Play dirty water, baby. I don't give a fuck.
2 points, I guess I'll go off of that line in the preseason. That line in the preseason looked good. We talked about this last week. It's either win or tie your shift consistently, right? And I had the feeling that line against other third lines would win or tie consistently against another third line, right? And
arguably win it most of the time.
I mean, listen, I'm going to say 50-50. But again, a tie is better than a loss, right? I'm going to go conservative on that. I do think that line would keep you in games and give your top 6 guys a break when needed. And cause some confusion down there. I mean, you have a guy like Jeannot. Again, we've been on his ass all season because it's Tanner Jeannot and his contract's awful. And I blame Don.
It's just a no trade clause for me, but
it's still the whole contract, right? I mean, but he's a guy who's he's quote unquote tough guy. He goes in there and goes and does the dirty work in the corners, protects your players. But guess what? He kind of sits his ass in front of the net too and causes a little bit of chaos. And when you have a shooter,
that's how he scores.
That's how he scores. When you have a shooter with him who will get that puck to the net, you can cause a lot of chaos and win that shift consistently, right? And even if it's keeping it out of your end and wearing down the D and wearing down the goalie a little bit, that's still a win for me. And to the point about Boston being entitled, I get it. For me, it's playoffs or bust, right? Like I need my teams to consistently make the playoffs because that's like the expectation around here, right? Like it's much different when you have a team like last year's Bruins team where they were just god awful and the playoffs were so far out, right? Like we are used to seeing the Boston Bruins compete in the Stanley Cup final, or not Stanley Cup final, but in the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? Where at least you have a shot to contend,
Since 2016-17, when they turned new page there and they really went on, a run of solid years. Yeah, that definitely it's expectation and when we got used to, and
and you know what? That's also the Jacobs family, right? That's their expectation. They want their extra paydays, from the concession stands at the Garden, and that's just what that is, right? And for me, it's just one of those things where I want my teams in the playoffs because I want to watch I want to watch playoff baseball. I want to watch playoff hockey with my teams in it. I want to watch playoff football with my team in it, right? Like that's just what it's like being a fan from Boston. And, again, we're spoiled in all the championships that we've done. But honestly, I believe the Boston Bruins have lost the most Stanley Cup finals in NHL history. Someone double check that stat for me, but I believe we've lost the most Stanley Cup finals in the NHL history, which is a crazy stat as well. But I mean, it's just back to the overall point. Give this kid a chance and give this line a chance, because then you can move someone up and down the lineup to kind of fill the gaps that you need.
You're right, Steve. According to
The Boston Bruins
Google,
do have the most losses, 14.
God, that's
And
even
Corey
more
Perry
brutal.
has the
That's
most
even look at that.
Yep.
Look at the potential that was there. We know that from recently in the years we lost. Don't even get us started on 2019. But it's like, what does that show? We've been there, and there's stuff we have missed out on. And
no, but I think it's the point Steve's trying to make. It's just that like Boston fans just want their team to be there. Like, is it a painful thing to watch them lose? Yes, but like eventually you'll get there and win one. Like, you know what I mean? Unless you're the Toronto.
But
Maple Leafs.
it's just a sheer amount that we've been there. So.
Yeah, so it does just go straight. But also remember, we're an original 6 team. So like when you only have 6 teams in the league, it's kind of you gotta take that into consideration. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you got to look at the 70s. You got to look at the 80s, right?
Sure.
The 90s and early 2000s, that was kind of like our godforsaken years where we weren't really.
We had one finals appearance against the Edmonton Oilers, and we probably
which
were
the
lose
Bruins
that one.
arguably should have won because of the way it went out with the power outage. It was insane. Yeah, there was a weird way how it went. Like the power went out in TD. It had to be played in Edmonton. It was just a strange circumstance, and it was arguably something that the Bruins should have won. It was just strange, but that's all conspiracy theory. The result was the result. That was like 30 years ago. We're over it.
It was against Wayne Gretzky too. So
that's what I was.
The league had something to do with that, but that's a topic for another
Wayne
time.
Gretzky at home.
I would love to get that.
Mm-hmm.
Steve wasn't even born at that time. Nor was I, mind you, despite how we look. Nope. But like, still, that whatever.
But my dad and my grandfather wouldn't shut up about it, so they lived through it. So I mean, it's just one of those things. As a Boston fan, it's like, do you even know what I went through? When the Patriots sucked and the Red Sox continued to suck, and the only game in town was the Boston Celtics, right? Like that type of era.
Boo-hoo.
But long story short, Lysell, I fully expect him to get the call up this week at some point. He just has to, dude. If they call up anybody else, if they call up Riley Duran, if they call up Jake Schmaltz, I don't even know, dude. He's the guy that you call up. There's nothing else I think right now he needs to do, unless it's for one game. If you're only calling up Lysell for one game, don't do it. Like, you know what I mean? Call him up for the sake of calling him up for 5 to 10 games. Like, you know what I mean? Don't just call him up on, like, let's just say for the sake of argument, for Detroit, just to send him back down like you did Markulov. Don't do that. Don't waste his time. Do that for like a guy like Patrick Brown.
I know. I disagree. I disagree.
But what's he going to show you in one game? All I'm saying is, if you're going to call up Lysell, it should be for 5 games.
It's not about what it's not. It's not about what he can show you. It's about giving him real minutes in an NHL game and seeing what he can do, and then telling him to go back down to Providence and work on whatever you want him to work on for the long-term development of his play. And the thing is, you need it. You need to fill in the roster. So either it's a win-win either way. He comes up for a game, you send him back down. If he does well, great. Hey, there's a couple things in your game that we need to work. We need you to work on, and you go from there. That way, hey, he's working on it, right? He goes back down to Providence, and the next time you need to call up, hey, we're gonna call you up. Cool. Let's see let's see what practice you've been doing. I don't think it's a waste of anybody's time, because we are injury ridden right now, and it's a good sign for a kid like that to get a call up and work on his game and figure it out.
Jack, do you agree more with Steve, or do you feel like you Lysell should be called up for at least 5 games? Like, or are you fine with
I
Lysell
would
being called up
want
for 1
5,
game?
like 5. I think I think you can, just get more and more out of, I think, what Steve is saying with, again, just a more sample size. But no, it is. But at the heart of it is a matter of showing what he can do at the NHL level as well, and then bringing it back to work
Okay.
on in Providence. So I would hope he's given more than 1 game. But yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, guys, before we move on to the big bad Bruin of the week and our predictions, we have an announcement that we're going to make. We are doing
Drum roll, please.
That was the worst drum
That
roll
was awful.
ever.
Let's go. I tried.
Fans of Hibernation, don't fuck with media. Hibernation is going to be giving a stick giveaway, so you have your chance to win a Providence Bruins team signed stick. And to enter to win, you must 1, subscribe to Don't Puck with Media on YouTube. And if you're already subscribed to us on YouTube, what you need to do is comment your favorite Bruins player, current or former, and tell us why you picked that player. You must be 18 plus or have your parents to enter for you. So someone 18 plus in the household has to win. You must be a U.S. or Canadian citizen. We do not do other international shipping, so we apologize for fans who are elsewhere across the globe. We just don't have the capacity to do it at present.
We'll get to you. We'll get to you soon.
We will get to you. We promise. 1 submission per household, and the winner will be announced by the Chavo, who will be dressed up in a cute little maid's outfit. No, I'm just kidding.
Woo!
The winner will be announced during a live show this December. So please make sure you keep tuning in for that. We will announce when that live drawing will be. So just make sure you keep listening to find out when that will be. Here's a preview of the stick itself. If you just go on and look at us, this is the stick. It's going to be a little bit difficult just to see some of the signatures there, but you can.
They're there though.
Them.
They're
and
there.
Yes,
They're there.
in case you are wondering, Lysell's signature is on here.
You could
somewhere.
potentially get Bruin's new superstar's signature if Don Sweeney would actually pull his weight to his job.
Yep. Even to make matters better, this stick was game used by Curtis Hall. So this stick was used by Curtis Hall. So please make sure you follow those instructions. And if you miss those instructions, just rewind the episode.
Help us out, support the show. I'm gonna make a little funny video as well because Cam posted something. I think it's good for us. So I will be preaching the same message as well, and it's something to keep an eye out for. So do it.
Yeah. So please be on the lookout for those videos too. Don't forget, guys, we're also on TikTok and Twitter too. So if you guys also want to support us there, that'll also be very helpful. But that is our competition.
Trying to figure out social media. It's scary. Or to me at least.
I know, right? It's so bad. It is so bad. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna be exciting, right?
Hell yeah.
That's a big giveaway. That is a big giveaway.
Big giveaway.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah. To be honest with you, when I was at the Providence Bruins game when I won that stick, we had no idea.
Really?
We got a text message. Yeah, we got a text message saying that we were one of the winners of the Chuck-a-Puck. And then, we go to the table at the end of the game and we're like, oh, excuse me, we got a text message saying that we won a prize on the Chuck-a-Puck. And they're like, oh, you won the grand prize. I was like, oh shit.
Oh god.
What the fuck did I win? I thought I won a lifetime supply of beer, but then I won a stick instead. So I don't know. I guess that's pretty even in my opinion. So it was pretty epic. So also, guys, be sure to support the Providence Bruins too. They do a bunch of that stuff as well, especially for season ticket holders. So shout out to the Providence Bruins.
The games are just fun too. Going down to Providence, enjoy a nice pro style hockey game up close.
Right near Federal Hill, some of the best Italian food you'll get in the Northeast.
Oh shoot!
Federal Hill, Providence, Rhode Island. Head down there if you want to eat gluttonous and have a good time.
I will say this though: if you are a loud individual and you get into games very easy, you will hear your voice come back to you. I thought I was going to get kicked out of that arena with how loud I was. Some of the players even turned after I was like chirping at I think it was the Toronto.
Oh my god,
Marlies,
dude!
like,
what?
oh, shit! I'm
You
like, I'm gonna get
psychopath.
my shit rocked by these players. So hell yeah. Actually, my mother for 1 year was just like, hey Cam, how would you feel about getting tickets right behind the penalty box bench? I'm like, depends for which team, because I'm like, you got to really select on that one. I'm like, you can't. I'm like, because I will probably get kicked out for wanting to start a fight.
You will have
So
the
there we
player
go.
jump over the glass outside the penalty box like Ty Domi did. I hope you know the reference.
100%, dude.
The player would be
100%.
jumping out to beat the crap out of you by the sounds of it. Crazy.
Steve will just see on the news some crazy Providence Bruins fan gets shit rocked by some AHL team kid because he was chirping so loud.
Because he wouldn't shut up.
That was a lot to get out. He
And
wouldn't
then
shut
I'll
up.
have to explain
great.
to you fine folks why
I'm no longer here.
One of the hosts is not here and in the hospital. That will be a time to be alive, people.
Time to be alive. All right, guys. Big Bad Bruin time. Big Bad Bruin. Good week. Good week for Boston. We mentioned it. But Bruins go 2-1. Pretty solid. Not going to complain about it at all. Why don't we lead it off with Jack? Why don't you tell us who your candidate is for this week, or who your vote would be?
As the incredibly powerful Taylor Swift has said, the haters gonna hate, and they're not hating on Jeremy Swayman anymore. He is tied for third NHL wins, and like I mentioned, he has a 7-2 record with a .935 save percentage in November. Sample size has been great, but he is just playing phenomenal. Key reason for the win against the Islanders, I think he stopped close to over 40 shots. Same with the Red Wings game, came up huge, ice cold in his vein. But yeah, he's just proving each start that he can hold the net and steal games, as we saw this week. So that's good. And therefore, that helps us out in turn. That helps us, get some wins, points on the table when they might matter. So I am just loving him in net, the bulldog from Alaska. He is what we need. And I just love him. What else is there to say?
Side note, that's how we just found out Jack was a Swiftie. So
no, I'm not. No, not hardcore.
Sorry,
but listen. I appreciate her for what she is. But she's cool.
I hate to break your heart, Jack. She's engaged to Travis Kelce, dude, and
God damn it, Travis.
That's a hard thing to come back.
I was gonna say, God damn it, Taylor, you stole Travis.
Yeah. If it was Pete Davidson, I feel like we would have a chance because he looks like an aardvark. But I think
she's cool. She's great, and again, I think people have opinions on her. But yeah. I mean, I could talk about her as well too. But she's.
I need the world's smileless violin to play his song.
I play the violin. So there you go. There you go.
We'll save the best for last. I think that's a good pick. Jack. Really good pick. Swayman was up there. I actually had 3 people. I wish I could have tossed up there, but I obviously went with one of them. We'll save the best. We'll save the shot. Well, oh my God, words are hard for me today.
You guys, words have been hard for the both of you. I feel like I've been the cleanest speaker, which is insane of revelation from the last few weeks because I almost couldn't get words out. And I mean, elephant in the room. You're do contagious now. I know.
We're all taking turns at being stutters over here.
I got the new mic. It's coming in clear.
We'll save the best for last in the Chavo, and I'll go. Swayman was a good pick. He was up there. He was actually number 3 for me for my pick.
To be fair, yeah, there's some good picks this week.
It's hard, and I think this is a bit of a cop out, but I'm going Morgan Geekie.
It's not, honestly. The more he keeps scoring, the more it's not a cop out. The more it's more of a solid pick by just holy shit. I'll let you keep going, but it's wow.
It's largely in the absence of Pasta. He has stepped it up so large. If Pastrnak was still in the lineup, I feel like I would have gone with my honorable mention, who is Alex Steves, because I think he is another guy who has answered the call. And, he was also pivotal in the Islanders game, scoring 2 goals. Yeah. So I just, so honestly, honorable mention to Alex Steves. I do try to challenge myself and try to look at who I genuinely believe has stepped up their game. And, I try to pick someone new every week, if applicable. If not, then, it is what it is. It's about who honestly deserves the award. And for at least my pick, it's Morgan Geekie. Again, we mentioned it earlier, the pasta merchant, kick rocks to whoever says that. He scored
Literally
three
kick rocks.
goals without Pastrnak. He's been an absolute steal of a contract, best in the league right now. And to me, it's not even close. Who else is going to get a potential 60 goal scorer for $5.5 million in modern day NHL? Nobody.
It's kind of reminded me of Zach Hyman's contract and how that has grown beautifully as well, and the value they got for him, I think, at the same price. So yeah, amazing.
Except
pick.
I think Hyman is getting a lot of help from McDavid. That much I will say.
Yeah, true. I think that's fair, but yeah, just in they're different players in comparison, but yeah, and just in the contract, yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah, Chavo.
This week has probably been the toughest week to date for this, and you know what? I'm one of the hosts, and if I want to move the goalpost, I'm going to move the goalpost whenever the fuck I want, and you all can cry about it. So I'm going with two guys today because they're tied for me, and it's both of your picks.
Two guys.
Yes, sir.
What? Stop it.
Stop.
Wow.
No, you got to look at this, okay? When I boil this down, you're gonna understand why. You ready? Swayman was incredible this week. Okay, he's come back and played the way he should be playing, and I can't knock him for anything this week. He played lights out and has been phenomenal. And as for the what did you call him earlier? The pasta
Pasta merchant.
Pasta merchant. Yeah, well, he still got 3 goals this week. 2 goals off of 3 shots in one game, without Pasta in the lineup. So the fact of the matter is, it's Geekie and Sway. So deal with it, people, and I don't care what anyone else has to say.
I think this week you can get away with for pick of those two guys because they both just split the load and both really stood out. They're incredible and we're leaders this week. Geeky stepping up in the presence of Pasta. Swayman just playing to what you think you would expect for Swayman and his contract. And I like that, honestly.
The question is, boys, does that get us the horn or not?
Fuck it. Play it. Why not?
Horn.
Come on.
Play the horn.
Play the horn.
There we go. We're not all in agreement, but I think Steve evened it out. He's a cheater. He sits on a throne of lies, but we're gonna let him do it.
Whatever. I do what I want.
I do what I want. I don't care.
Do what I want.
Oh man. Wow. What a crazy day, guys. What a crazy day. That's awesome. You picked 2, you schmuck.
I don't care.
I'm gonna put some rules around you.
No. This week it constitutes literally how do you not pick the 2 of them? I think Steve proved that. But yeah, listen.
Again, if I want to move the goalpost, I'm gonna move the goalpost. And
Steve's the type of guy to go to do.
He's a trendsetter.
You should know that, Cam. You should know that.
Trendsetter.
All right, let's do the week ahead and let's do the week ahead and get out of here.
Script reads him.
You're goddamn right it does.
Guys, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the week ahead real quick. As mentioned earlier, we have Detroit at Detroit. Very important. And then we're back home again, St. Louis and New Jersey. In this order. They are going to be playing in that order. So it's Detroit, St. Louis, New Jersey. That Detroit's going to be on Tuesday, St. Louis Thursday, and New Jersey on Saturday. All 7:00 start times. Thank God. And I have another 2 in 1 week. By the way, I lead now in the prediction tracker.
Yeah,
I have taken
Steve.
over because
sorry about that, Steve, because he did go with
you guys
last week. So
bummed it out. So I went 100% last week. So fuck you guys. So I'm going to go and try for 100 again. And I'm going to have a win at Detroit, a win against St. Louis, and a loss to New Jersey. Take it away.
Pretty good.
To Jack.
Yeah, let me go.
I don't need to explain it because I think those teams are weak except for New Jersey. So do with that which you will.
Yeah, I'm not too far from you, Cam. I think a win against Detroit puts way back in there. Ice cold in the veins. Get it done, buddy. Win against Detroit. And honestly, a win against St. Louis and New Jersey. I'm going to go for the Bruins being 3-0 this week, and I'm probably going to get clowned for it, per usual with my picks. But I think Cam made a good point with I think he made a good point with this ahead with the teams we have this week. They're all beatable. New Jersey's going to be tough, and I'm tempted to put an L, but you always accuse me of copying you, so screw you for that. But also, I'm going to just be confident and go. I'm going to go 3-0. Mark it down. It's going to happen. Just
okay.
St. Louis and Jim Montgomery can suck a dick.
Yeah.
I was a big Jim fan for so long. Listen, and then I don't know. I got betrayed. I felt betrayed. I
oh my
the
God.
love was lost.
I just, you know what, Jack, I'm rooting for you. You're honestly, you're like at 45% in your guesses.
Thank you.
So
yes, yeah. So listen, this is gonna turn it around. I'm gonna be leading at the end of this week. How about no? It's actually statistically impossible for me too. But
yeah, I was going to say, I think if you win 100% the next 2 weeks, you would still be losing.
So I'm gonna get back up there, guys. Listen, I'm gonna redeem myself. I am confident. I'm going into this week confident. Mark it down, guys. So next week, if I'm coming in cold, you'll know why. But come on now, come on.
Okay. Well,
All right, three straight dubs for the Bruins.
Seeing as how Jack stole all my picks last week and it screwed me over, I have to do something on the complete opposite scale, and I'm going to be the negative Nancy here. Okay, and I don't even care.
Wow,
stole is interesting.
I do what I want.
I do what I want, and I do what I feel. Anyways, I don't think we're going to win at Detroit.
Okay.
I think that game was far too close for us to sit here and, basically, we should have won that game. And we did win that game, but they made a late push. They made some right calls, and they forced it into a shootout. So I think at this point, especially with Detroit getting the last change and kind of matching up players who they know what they've just seen, what matchups they want, I think that's going to come into effect for real, especially with another Eastern Conference team that is looking to steal some points and try to get back into the playoff contention after 9 straight seasons. And I think all the East teams are thinking like this right now, especially with the points being so tight. So I do have a loss at Detroit. I got a win against St. Louis because it's St. Louis, and I don't have any confidence in them right now. It's a hot and cold team, and if we catch them on a bad night, we should be able to win, especially when they're cold, even with our banged up lineup. And in Detroit, not in Detroit, in New Jersey, I have an L. I think that, especially with us being banged up as we are, we're missing some guys that we really need to compete with that team. And I'm not saying I'm hoping we're not going to get blown out, but it's definitely one of those possibilities that we could. But I think we're going to end up getting an L on that game.
Steve's going with logic.
Wow.
I'm going with heart.
Steve. Listen, every time you've gone with heart, it's hurt you. So just be careful with that one. And Steve, just so you know, so you don't think I'm cheating again, I am literally copy and pasting these into the tracker because you fought me hard on it, buddy. You fought me hard, and I can only imagine
check. You need to make sure
you were
he wasn't confident.
For the uninitiated, there was a little point of contention between Cam and I after this week's loss, where I actually had to go back.
I'm a liar.
I do. I don't think you're not a sportsman, and if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. So there was a point of contention, and I was on the wrong side of that point, and I admit it here and right now. So we'll keep going.
He's a man of his, he owns up to it. Man of his word.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What do you to be mad? Quick final thoughts.
All our picks have been bad no matter what. So I'm just saying F it this week. And then depending on the damage or success, I will be reevaluating. But I'm
hold on, timeout.
Who cares right now?
Timeout. Did he just say all of our picks have been bad?
Mine have been bad.
Oh, okay.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Because you were. I had the stats, buddy. I was about to run you with some numbers. Jack, it's only good because that means it can only get better from here. Honestly, if it gets worse,
I'm telling myself.
I hope nobody takes betting advice from you. But it's all right, buddy, because we love you. Steve, final thoughts before we close out.
Good overall week. Good Thanksgiving week, and excited that we're playoff hopefuls as we all decided today, and we're looking forward to seeing hopefully a call up of Lysell this week, and going from there.
Cool. Jack, anything from you?
Yeah, I just hope they keep at the See, I already knew it was gonna happen. I'm like, why am I?
You were doing so good. You were doing so good, and you just.
I know. I couldn't help myself. It's been like 2 weeks. I had to do it. I know. I had to do it. Sorry, Jack. Go ahead.
It doesn't matter if I'm going with emotion or logic, Cam. My picks are bad. You can take your picks and shove them. Anyways, I hope we continue being. They show that they're playoff hopefuls, and I mean, just Swayman keeps up to what he has shown this week, and some young guys get an opportunity as well. But as long as it stays at where it is, I'm good. Keep the vibes high.
Cool, guys. I got really nothing else to say except I hope every single one of you had a very, very happy Thanksgiving, and thank you all for listening. As always, don't forget that the stick giveaway will be happening at some point in December. Make sure that you get your submission in, and we will not be taking any during the live show. So that is another thing that I forgot to mention. So if you don't get it in before that live show, you lose your chance to win the stick. But outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, that will do it for this week's episode. Go check out don'tpuckwithmedia.com for all of our blogs and much, much more. Connect with us on Twitter, Bluesky, TikTok, YouTube, and through our website for your thoughts to be heard on our episodes by sending us a voicemail or even a direct message or through our comments. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to us on all of our platforms. As always, we love you guys. And until next time, fuck